honestly, I think Anubis is definitely going to be the map that I always get excited for this one. I think it's probably one of my favorite maps to always watch because I think you can see so many big comebacks. Like I even think about, even back in the NA matches where, Party Astronauts were able to make a huge comeback where they took down NRG. You and I have been able to catch some big games here in the South America region. But we're going to find out now. Like we said, the best of one to see who can start things off. W7M is going to be on the CT side, which is a little bit interesting, Paladin, because again, on paper, these guys, they're pretty decent on it. They got about a 45% win rate, so we're going to have to see if we can buff that number.
Chance for the Corinthians to start to get that ball rolling on the T side. It's going to be this straight execute into this A side. But here's Sadden, the man that we were looking to see if he could step up big. He'll actually only be limited to 1 kill, and that's fantastic for the Corinthians. 4v4 retake now to ensue for W7M. They don't have a kit, so they're going to have to get the ball rolling immediately.
Yeah, this is already a really good start. I mean, the fact that we're sitting at a 4-on-3 right now, W7M coming in from A main. This is everybody. Man, they are just coming through the main door. They don't even care. They don't want to try anything else. They're just going to barrel on in. But look at where Corinthians are. They're in a big post-plant position. And there is no kit available for the CTs. They have to kind of get moving a little bit here, but now it's starting to be a stick. They're still holding on to this. They need to take them out, and that defuse is somehow going to be able to work out. I can't believe we just saw a 10-second sticker.
Stormsin lives on 6 HP there. I have no idea how he can survive in that situation and still allow for the 10-second stick to come in. You saw Jay-Z, I believe, getting 2 massive headshots as soon as, his teammate was actually trying to get hit up. But, I mean, what a steal away for W7M Corinthians. They're going to be kicking themselves. At least, at the very least, they'll have that gun round to go through with. But, man, oh man, that confidence and that momentum that they would hope for has quickly been ripped on its hair as Nuts has gone down early.
Well, and the worst part too is, I mean, the fact that the Glocks are coming in, trying to make the headshot. You could see, like, I think there was even one hit, and then it just disappeared. Like, nothing was happening. But some big groundwork coming in from the CT side already pushing through main. And now you can already see fokiu able to find this opening. So now ABR, a heavy hitter on this team. Not going to be able to find much. With the bomb down, they're going to get these rifles, and a Galil gets the better of that. Leo now trying what he can with the Galil here on bridge. Trying to see what he can find, but he gets a little bit too comfortable. And now he gets eradicated, leaving it down to PD and looking for a little bit more for the FAMAS. But these duels, they are working out for the Corinthians, considering how bad this was starting.
Still, yeah, definitely a possible position for both Desh and Leggy, but with no bomb, they're going to have to recover that eventually. Leggy wants to try to take an open duel and get some space, but no way he's clearing Sadzen there. So leaves Desh up in the clutch. We wanted a big game out of him, and he's shown what he can do against some of the best players in South America. No frags being offered up to him just yet, but he will have the bomb at his disposal. So free bomb plan available on this A bomb site if he so chooses. And he will choose correctly. Watching a camera. Here's Stormsin coming down into A main. Potentially a 1v1 available, and I believe that has been hear that. Yeah, planting on the other side of the cake. And now here comes the retake. 3v1 and 2s. Really difficult situation now that he's getting swarmed. Jay-Z will get the last of the round. And W7M will avoid the force buy pretty comfortably, I'd say. I like the protocols that they had there. I love that aggression from fokiu, and it does some wonders. Sure, he goes down after attempting on that third, but he jostles up that default so much that the Corinthians never have a chance to really get settled in that round.
Yeah, and like you said, I think fokiu was able to start things off really well. I mean, the fact that it's even a double kill, but the fact that, able to push through carpet, able to come through the backside of main, or in mid, my apologies. I mean, that was huge, and Corinthians were never expecting that. So that's what we love to see on the CT side is these aggression points where they kind of fight for the map control, get this information. Yes, it can be risky, but it does pan out really well for them. And like you said, they don't have to really sweat too much about the money system for them. Instead, it's Corinthians. Even with the bomb plant, they're just going to get the pistols with full bit of utility here with the smokes. And they're just going to try them. I'm thinking it's going to be a Hail Mary into this B site. You can already see the lineups coming through. Tech9 is going to lead this charge. This is going to be important because if they can get this bomb down, that's going to be a nice money grabber for them too. But look at what W7M are doing right now, Paladin. They have essentially leaned 3 players, already have the double boost on this. JZ, oh man, this could be a field day. This could be easy for him, and he's just going to sit there. He's just fragging out. Oh no, and Corinthians are running into a bit of a trap. This is not looking like a great position, but I think the ball might be able to get planted. Oh, it does, just barely. Within the last second.
Oh, that's fantastic that they were able to get away with that. So much more cash injection for them. Sure, they don't actually take any casualties, W7M, but at the end of the day, Corinthians will be happy with the buy that they'll be able to bring into the next. Desh can get out the IWP. They'll have utility for days, and that first buy round, usually you would see a lot of concessions having to be made, but not this time around. And so all in all, I would say still a win in my books, especially considering that 3-stack on the B site.
Yeah, that boost is so important too, and Jay-Z's just getting fed right now, man. I mean, he's able to find himself some big openers. Now he's just getting himself even the higher stats that we were talking about, and he was the one guy that's kind of tied here in terms of overall ratings, right? He sits at about a 1.01. He's tied with fokiu, and I mean, this is, you know, something that now he's done quite well. He's sitting at a 7-0, and someone like Storm hasn't even seen a single person. He's literally had to do really nothing except throw some critical utility. But either way, Desh has got the op. We talked a lot about what this can bring. This is going to be important now. But back to just a very slow default here for Corinthians. Really getting a feeler now, and I think they're a little bit nervous.
Absolutely. I mean, this default feels to me as that they're still trying to feel out Anubis, but they haven't really gotten too much headway yet. Finally, they're starting to slow creep up A main, and with how much utility has been expended early on, Corinthians are just very willing to just sit back and wait. They're understanding that these smokes can just fade over time, and eventually they can strike with their hit, but they've got to start making some decisions and some headway right now, because give it with 45 seconds left on the clock, and now info is starting to be gained by W7M. There's a real chance here, and I think Desh has completely given up that angle. Sure, he gets the trade, but the bomb has been spotted, and W7M have an inkling of what's going on.
Yeah, we're starting to see a little bit of these, like, again, these one-on-one peaks that are coming in. Leo kind of, again, just assuming nobody's there, had a knife out to a gunfight. This is not looking good. ABR and Desh, the 2 strongest players in terms of statistics, they're coming in, but already now ABR's gone. 10 seconds remaining, and this is going to be a save. Desh has no sort of a play right now. He has to keep this op alive, but a good round coming in from WFM or W7M. The fact that, again, they're finding these duels, like you said, and I kind of feel like there was just too much hesitation coming in from Corinthians. They looked like they couldn't really make a decision, and it kind of now makes some more sense as we're going to see that first timeout coming through.
Yeah, to me, that felt like Corinthians didn't really have an idea as to what to do there. The call was to potentially wait out these smokes, but as soon as they did, the game plan still felt a bit rocky. There was players taking duels on the B site, on A main, and mid, pardon me, and in that situation, they never really found the duel that they were looking for, and as soon as they started losing fights, they didn't have a plan B, and they didn't have time to actually go in with the plan B, considering the clock. I mean, they're actually going into enemy territory at 45 seconds left on the clock, and that doesn't help you in any situation. We've seen that time and time again, even with the best teams in South America, like a 9-0 Imperial. So those time constraints are really going to come back to bite you, and you've got to find a way to up the tempo off the gates, because you really want to command some respect from the CTs, or else things can get out of control.
No, I definitely can, but look at Jay-Z, man. Look at this confidence. He's looking to get a bit more frags, maybe, but a nice little bit of a tag. But now the question is, can he get out of this? He's spotted. Desh is going to be able to have an easy one, an appetizer here to start things off. Now trades are coming back in from W7M. This is good, but Corinthians now finally getting themselves a little bit more of a jump start. Kotz is going to be removed. He hasn't been able to find anybody yet. Saw just kind of waiting things out. He does have the better angle of this, and yeah, Desh taking too long for the peak. Making it the 4-on-3 now with still a minute and 10 remaining. Bomb going to make its way into door, into mid, and it's going to be that A crunch. Going to be having, I believe that's ABR kind of waiting things out, but now fokiu waiting things out. He's getting spotted, but it's a double player here. He finds himself one. This is not a good position for Leggy. He needs to be able to do something, but there's ABR coming in, but it's a little bit too late. But Leggy, He's got himself a little bit of time here, Paladin.
Yeah, he's got a clutch on deck, a 1v2 to potentially post Corinthians first. A little bit of utility delay. Molly in heaven, and a pretty gap of a smoke on his fallback, but he'll get into A main regardless. So he's got some time, he's got some space, but there's still kits up and a Molly and a smoke on the back of W7M. So not over till it's over for Leggy. They're going to Molotov out one angle, and Sadzin's made his way into the site. Time for duels for Leggy, and he can't rise up to the occasion. There's that defuse coming in, and Corinthians will maintain the clean sheet. This time around, that A defense looking absolutely stellar. Fokiu doing so much work in the back of the A site. And at the end of it all, it's again these early duels that W7M are taking that Corinthians do not have a plan to reroute themselves into a healthy bomb site attack. It's always a very limping attack, something where it's more of a last-ditch effort more than anything. And that's really hurting them to actually convert around here so far.
Ain't no doubt about it. 5-0 now going to be grabbed here from W7M. A great way to start off the CT side. Corinthians kind of now putting a little bit more pressure. Still got the AKs, but the utility. Man, there's a full amount here for Leggy, but then if you kind of look over at ABR and Cuts, I mean, you're talking 2 Molotovs with the smoke, so this is not a great position. Now, this is about hoping to find a pick, hoping to find a duel in your favor. What do Corinthians want to do? We've seen many times now, the A site seems to be the name of the game. And now having triple player going into A main, having the flash coming in from Desh, this could be nice, just getting that control. That Storm just kind of playing in the back, but he's not going to get hit here at all. This smoke is going to be more of a time killer. But I like this idea, though, Paladin. I do like the fact that we're seeing Corinthians now making a bit more decisive choices.
Yeah, they're finally in A main with a minute to spare, which means they have chances to pressure, but I mean, even in this situation, there's a direct counter for W7M. 2 players on the site and a quick mid-rotate from Fokiu as well if he wants to come on over. But it's a better chance for Corinthians than anything, and I think that's what they're trying to look for. They want to try to punish this A site. Saad is here, though. Hasn't been on the A site all too often. Are they aware that he's this close? 30 seconds left on the clock, and Corinthians are boxed into this option and this option only. There's a little bit of a shoulder, and Saad still catches this time. He plays ahead of it and tries to get another pot shot in, but there's Stormzy trying to get one in. Can't actually convert. With that, more information being gained. Fokiu getting one of his own. And all this damage being done by these site members. And that Molly actually spreading. JZ will stop the plant and stop another opportunities at Corinthians getting a after plant in their favor. 6-0 for W7M. And man, oh man, these side anchors and this A defense looks absolutely stellar.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Corinthians are going to have to, go to the other now bomb site and figure out, okay, let's go B, guys. Like, I don't think the A is working. I mean, the only thing we can really say as a positive right now is most cases is the bomb is going down for that money. But again, like you said, the anchoring, the utility usage is something to take note of because I'm impressed with JZ was able to do. That Molly essentially saved them that round too, or gave them a guaranteed because the bomb planter had to get off of it. And there was only, what, like less than 10 seconds remaining. I think it was like 6. So it was not a great situation. But now Corinthians trying to maybe take a little bit of a note here, but just gets eradicated on this. Trying to go through E-Box, trying to do everything they can. Mollies are flying in. Tech-9s are getting a bit more of an opening. A little bit more of a surprise factor. Nobody in Temple. Players coming in from the CT side now. They can come in for the rotates. They can come in for the swings. Who else is Zede to get things done? And now Cuts with an op. Now he has to take down 3 players with 1:14 remaining. Hoping, praying, but nothing at all.
That's just domination there. Now this time the B setup looking stellar. Saad in the right place at the right time, still getting one on the board. Zede doing his job as well. And of course, Stormzy just getting the job done. So far, so good for W7M, getting themselves 7 rounds on the CT side. Winning out this defensive half is absolutely fantastic for them to have, and I understand why the Corinthians are taking a timeout. This half has quickly spiraled out of control, and we saw the troubles that they had when the confidence is run out from their sails and how they struggle to build back the momentum. It's going to be quite an arduous task to pick it up, but they're gonna have to find a way here, Laz, because this map is quickly just running from their grasp.
It really is, and this is where you start to get a little bit more frustrated too, because we've been emphasizing so much that the T side is the better side, right? I mean, I think we've now seen teams really adapt well on their CT side. Nonetheless, we know that, but for a team like for Corinthians, I mean, this is a 63% win rate on this. This is something they need to be able to get some rounds, and this is becoming more of an illness. This is just something they can't figure out the remedy for it, and W7M are putting themselves in a great position that they've already secured the half by such a large margin, and now look at the patience that's coming in. They're just going to post up on this, hoping that W7M peak, and they do. And now they put themselves on a 4-on-3, making it there. No, it's going to be more AKs just coming in. This thing is nuts. This is more of just a shooting range inside this B site. Bomb is dropped in the back of the site. This is not a great position here for Corinthians, but they got some utility. Oh, no, Paladin. Oh, no.
That's never a good sign when it clips the side of E-Box, and now Cuts is going to have to wait things out. They actually take some damage for it as well. Stormson has made his way tucked into the site. It's so hard to clear that. Look at where the bomb is dropped here, Laz. It's on the back of the B bomb site. They're going to have to take so much time off the clock to potentially get that bomb in their retrieval and plant it. So it all is going to come down to these raw duels, and Stormson actually moves away to take the duel, but there's Zede to get yet another one. What a huge round there from him. That rotation was absolutely sublime. He's going to throw some BM in there as well. This CT side keeps on trucking. What a round there in the 2v2. Every clutch, every post plant, every mid round, it just feels like so comfortably W7M's game, and it feels like they're running away with this momentum.
Yeah, they really are. And that's the thing too, like it just couldn't be worse right now for Corinthians, because again, like you said, the bomb was in the back of the site, like in the worst position. And then again, you're having a Galil and B main trying to go for a long range fight, which yes, it can happen. A Galil is pretty sick for the price point, price tag of it. But again, that is asking a lot for a long range fight. And then even, the fact that, the player in E-Box just can't get himself out of there. It's getting worse and worse and worse right now for them. And this is, and then like I talked about, this is frustration, right? But W7M they're in a great position, because again, for them, I mean, this is not their best side on the map like this. Obviously, they do have a higher percentage on their CT with a 45 win percent. But then when you go to that T side, it's going to be 52. But pause is in right now, folks. We are just waiting to see how much longer that could be. But I think right now for Corinthians, they're just needing to get themselves a few rounds to get a transition onto that second half.
Yeah, at this point, they would love 4 rounds, any rounds at all. But in this buy save cycle that they're stuck in with no bomb plants, they're going to have to take another save here. Pistols across the board, potentially giving over W7M 9. And I can't even say maybe up the tempo. They have been upping the tempo, and these players on W7M just have the proper protocols. They have great chemistry to play off one another, and they're finding ways to just make sure that they can hold on to these man-even situations. And I'm really admiring it. This kind of chemistry that they have looks really, really stellar. So far, so good for W7M, and I think when I talked about putting their money where their mouth is, they've done that and then some. I'm really impressed what I'm seeing from them thus far.
Yeah, me too. And I mean, this is the thing is, I think quite a few of these players essentially came from the academy and then switched over to the main team here for W7M, and they've been a roster together for, I think it's about 7 months, and then 6 for the coach. So the fact that they're under a year, putting themselves in a decent standing point right now in the league, and already showing us a pretty strong, CT side for something like this. Not bad at all. I mean, they are currently ranked number 6, like we talked about in the pre-show. I mean, they do sit themselves at that 2-2 record, whereas right now Corinthians have been able to play more games, but in more of the 2-4 aspect.
Keep in mind, this is a pretty important game in terms of the standings. Be a chance for W7M to rise up the ranks a little bit, start to go at it with teams like an Imperial and the Amigos. And for Corinthians, it would be huge to just get some confidence under their belt. If they can at least snag a map away, start to get involved in these best of ones. And this time, we're gonna have 2 Galils into the round and very few utility pieces. to actually get involved. But Jay-Z actually goes down early. There's a bit of a team killer from Leggy, but he still gets the opening, and there's still a man advantage in play for Corinthians. Probably the best round that they've been in quite some time. And with the A bomb side being completely empty, there really is an opportunity for Corinthians to snag themselves at first. They have to get past Saad, though. And if they can't, this round is still very much on for W7M.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot with the op.
Ooh.
Okay. I was going to say we haven't seen much of it, and there it is. Finally. An op gets to do something here, Paladin, but I do agree with you. I think the fact that this is the best round we've seen from Corinthians, now they're just going to retreat this plan. They're going to be able to pick up these rifles. They're going to go towards this B site, but now this is a good position right now. You can see Saad's already make his way into this. Both these players are reading this well, but the op misses again. Player in A main. Do they expect him to be here? This is going to be the most important player right now because he might be able to find this, and he does get the bomb carry, and there you go. That's going to be it. That's going to be the round, and it falls apart again and again. The bad luck continues on, Paladin. How?
Yeah, that actually does feel like a lot of bad luck because they see that one shot from Saad, and they think it's all a bluff. They think there's still a player on the A site, and they pull the ripcord. They say, we don't want anything to do with this A site. We're going to pull the ripcord, move back into canals, try to go to that B site. But with how little time, again, that there's left on the clock, Zede was able to get all the way into the back of B main. There's no way in hell they're clearing that angle. And then it's just a simple seesaw of angle switching from Saad and Zede, and they just shut down the rest. A 9-0 clean sheet on the defense of Anubis. Another buy is out, and what a nade kick up there from Saad to get a kill onto Leo, and actually double ops ringing true for them as well. Fokiu taking out ABR, and it's a 5v3 with a minute 25 left on the clock. Talk about insult to injury.
Oh man, and there's just a big old spray through the smoke. Storm now runs through it. Guns blazing. Leggy now on a 1-on-4. Noise Q gets the shadow too. Yeah, why not? Should be able to get into the site, but it's going to be close. Oh, a little bit of a fake. Mind games. Time with a minute. What do we see? A little bit of a quick dip in the water. Refresh. And look at these players from W7M now. I mean, they're just stacked in camera, waiting in mid. So they've essentially just played, okay, we're just going to rotate quickly. No matter what we see, we're all going together as a unit. Best buds. And now 40 seconds here for Leggy to find something. A flash and a molly. I don't know if he got spotted here. I don't know if Jay-Z spotted him. I don't think so. Looks like he's still playing a passive angle. Makes the noise cue now. But Leggy has to clear this. Oh no, this is the wrong spot. Expecting this heaven push. A big spray, but it's not going to matter. A 10-0 is still being served.
Yeah, I mean, that is well played from W7M, and again, it's just overthinking the situation. If he had kind of just bursted into the A bomb site, maybe you would have a plant, maybe you'd have time to rejig his setup, but it's just, the issue is they've been bullied so often on this A site. The conditioning has been so strong that they're so terrified that Saad could be around any corner on this map that nothing is safe for them. And with that, they have commanded the respect of the Corinthians. And I mean, definitely so, considering the round count that's going on right now. They're just bought into this one as well. Decent little nade to start chucking things in, but they're going to go straight at Storms, and they want to see if they can get into this A bomb site. But there are 3 players here yet again, and Zede cuts off the B lurk as well.
Yeah, this is not looking good. The op actually does miss, so now they're just going to swing into this. Op's looking for more, but it actually doesn't work out. But despite kind of an awkward situation, Corinthians come out better in this one. And with a 10-0, I really hope we don't see a save. But no, they're going to go through the beach. They're going to go through the scenic route so far. Taking their time a little bit. They do have a kit here for one of the players. And the HP is not bad here, but I mean, Leggy is the one that's quite lit. But I don't know. I mean, it seems like they're kind of waiting things out. They have full utility from Saad right now that they could dispense. But instead, it actually does look like they're going to give up this round. They're not going to contest for it. They are going to just keep the AWP in the hands. Unless they're looking for a last-second attack here. Oh, this would just be gross. No way. Okay, I was going to say, they're trying something a little tricky, but ABR does well. They finally get themselves on the board here, Paladin. We go in to the last round of the first half.
Well, better late than never, huh? To cut the lead down to 9 and say, okay, well, we can dodge the embarrassment of a potential 13-0, but of course, it is absolutely paramount that that they get this second round if you want to start a conversation. But it was honestly, the setup was there again for W7M. 3 players on that site, but just this time around, the shots go right. Fokiu had a chance for actually a collateral there, but couldn't convert. And finally, that A hit works out. It feels like they're kind of on a broken record with the number of times that these A hits failed, but some good fortunes in the favor of Corinthians. This time they want to move over to the other side of the map. And there's a little bit more decisiveness from the Corinthians, taking dark control, but they can't actually capitalize on Zede's openness. He still gets one before he gets taken down. And Corinthians are still interested in this B bomb site. They still want to try to capitalize on dark control. But Jay-Z and Fokiu say, we want to battle and fight fire with fire. What a great swing there from Jay-Z. Leggy can't get involved at all. Flashed up, and Jay-Z gets himself another. So still a man advantage situation for the Corinthians. A chance for Saad to let that op sing, and he's been an absolute rock for this squad so far on Anubis. And it leaves Dash, who we haven't really spoken too much about in this map of Anubis, up for that 1v3.
Yeah, with 42 seconds remaining too. Does have the bomb, but again, now needs to find these duels on a one-on-one. Might be able to. Oh man, it's a bit of a panic spray, but okay. He'll be fine. Cool things down a little bit. Making the noise cue. Jay-Z getting this information, but he's thinking it might be through mid. Desh, oh no, Desh goes to his own demise. It's going to be an 11-1 first half. We're going to take that little bit of a break because we have to see if Corinthians got it in them to bring things back. All right, well, it's a short break as now we get to see W7M putting themselves on 11-1 when they are on the CT side. Now the Corinthians have a lot of homework. We'll have to see what they've been able to find, but I don't know if that homework assignment has been done here because right now it's looking like the W7M players, they were able to get themselves out of E-Box. A little bit more chaotic now. Desh trying everything he can, but it is just W7M coming back in, taking what they want. Oh, I thought Cuts would have went for that. What is going on? Why is he peeking? He has the bomb. Paladin. Somehow we are at a very awkward situation with a 2-on-3. Still, no kits here for the CTs. Not an easy situation at all. JC's trying everything he can. If ABR gets taken out here, this could be all over, but a great shot comes in. And now things are looking a little bit more close. Corinthians doing a great job trying to get themselves back into this game. The USPs making connections, but it's all down to Sod. We talked a lot about him. A 12-5 score line. Fake defuse coming through, but now I think the job is done. And there it is! Oh my!
That was absolutely stellar. What a one-tap from Sod. And it's another situation where Stormson has just mere slivers of HP. Instead of defusing the bomb with 10 seconds, he has to try to get the bomb down, and yet still his little butt was showing. It doesn't get to get taken down, and the W7M boys will be giggling all the way to the bank. They have map point written all over this one. There'll be a last-ditch force buy from the Corinthians, a couple MP9s involved, but look at this, man. They just want to barrel into this B side. Just a couple of smokes over the top, maybe a couple of flashes, and they didn't want to go right at Dash. He's had a tough game. He's trying to make do with what he has, but it's just going to be an absolute dominating take of the B bomb site. And ladies and gentlemen, it is absolute carnage here at ECL Season 47. South America has finally netted a brand new stellar Brazilian roster in a W7M, and they have just eradicated the Corinthians. What a map one from them on Anubis. This was a troublesome map for them in terms of their map pool, and yet they still look so damn comfortable. What a win for them.
Yeah, what a win indeed. And I mean, that pistol round was nuts, right? Because again, Corinthians, if they could have found that, I think it could have made the scoreline a little bit different. Obviously, we don't really know, but I mean, again, you can't take anything away from W7M.